Hey everyone, welcome to From the Depths. I'm Menti, and this is episode 18 of the Squadron Shootout Season 2 tournament. In this episode, we've got the 219th Naval Battalion by 219th Legion going up against the Obdurate Airforce by Branjomen. So this is going to be an interesting fight, an almost entirely naval force versus an almost entirely air force. So let's go ahead and get the shells flying, see how things go. I mean, the 219th Naval Battalion does have an interceptor. Excuse me. But it's not really proven itself to be terribly effective. So, I'm not sure how much it counts for much. But I guess we'll see. It does have quite a few missiles on it. And those could be, painful to the interceptors on the Obdurate Air Force's side. And one big advantage that the Obdurate Air Force, or that the 219th Naval Battalion has over the Obdurate Air Force, is the materials count. 219th has 60,000, while Obdurate Air Force only has 12.3k. So, granted, most of the Obdurate Air Force is made up of small things that can't really do repair tanking anyway, so having materials isn't that big of a boon for them. Firing all those missiles so early that they don't actually, reach the target, though, that's not great. Like, that's improper setup of a local weapon controller right there. Like, missiles are not cheap. You can't be wasting them. You got the Rocket Hog here, just in and amongst the Obdurate Air Force's aircraft. Ooh, looks like one of the cram bombers from the Obdurate Air Force has lost a wing, going into a spiral. It may have taken a direct hit from a flak shell. Again, most of that missile strike just not reaching the forward onto Dawn, and what missiles did hit didn't really do much of anything. Small missiles aren't really meant to hit enemy ships, especially on a battleship. Those cram bombs, though, did that just bounce off the deck and then detonate? They must be like pure high explosive cram bombs with no kinetic in them whatsoever. Two of the cram bombers have been completely destroyed at this point, though. Oh, and a third one is now down. So they are falling fast to the AA of the 219th Naval Battalion. And I don't think the interceptor's missiles... That looks like a dead interceptor there. I don't think the interceptor's missiles are strong enough to actually do any significant damage to the 219th Naval Battalion. They really need those cram bombers to do work, and they're getting torn up by the anti-aircraft of the 219th Legion. This one seems pretty badly damaged and is gaining DQ time because it's too high. Those flak shells are from, I believe those are from the the USS Firewall, and now that cram bomber has been destroyed. There's only two remaining. Yeah, dropping those cram bombs. Ooh, that was a direct hit to that rear turret. Completely destroyed it. But the cram bomber was destroyed by a storm of flak in the process. So there's only one left. And I'm not sure where it is at the moment. It's around here somewhere. Something detonated up in the atmosphere for being too high. Well, the other... Oh, another disqualification detonation. There's just so many aircraft in this battle, it's hard to keep track of which one's doing what. And these missile strikes are just... The forward onto Dawn does not care. It's only lost 1.5% HP. And this interceptor has been shot down. This balloon is trying to let it fly again, but it doesn't seem to have any engine power. Oh, and that one just took a hit and is AI dead. This one is under fire. Oh, got several way up here in the sky. Seems they've taken damage, lost control, going way too high. Going to detonate in a disqualification inferno if they don't get themselves under control. But despite that, the USS Firewall is making sure they don't come back down, or if they do, they come back down in pieces. It seems like the Firewall, the light cruiser here, is doing a very good job with its anti-aircraft coverage. Meanwhile, the forward onto Dawn is just sailing straight for these fleet carriers. Oh, we got some torpedoes coming in from the Hellfire destroyer on the 219th Legion, and yeah, torpedoes can be nasty. Like, all these escort carriers are hammering the forward onto Dawn, but they just don't have the weaponry. Like, it's just too small of a gauge to really inflict any significant damage. And you can see those flak shells are ripping up this interceptor, you know, from the Firewall. And that is another dead interceptor. There's only a cram bomber at 66% health somewhere. Is that it right there? Yep, and it just got nailed. So it is going down in the water. And actually, were those torpedoes going for the cram bomber? Well, you tried, cram bomber. You fired one last futile shot, but yep, and there we go. All that's left are the fleet carriers, which are all desperately trying to kill the forward onto Dawn. And it looks like they're firing flak shells, possibly, or at least high explosive. And Battleship is not going to care about that. It is just going to sail through that storm of explosions and rip you a new one. Yeah, I think the forward onto Dawn could win this fight all on its own at this point. With the cram bombers in play, it might not be able to win this fight solo, but with just the fleet carriers, yeah, these things can't do anything to it. It's gaining health. It looks like maybe not all of the shells fired are explosive. There might be some kinetic rounds in there somewhere, but oh wow, they punched a hole in the hull there and sneaking a bunch of shells into that hole. That could actually be bad if there's anything critical in there, but it looks like it's just an air compartment, so that one penetration isn't going to do a whole lot. The USS Firewall light cruisers getting in here. Working on the fleet carriers as well, and yeah, there's absolutely no chance, no way for the Obdurate Air Force to come back from this. This battle is very much over. Yep, I'm gonna call this battle over rather than make us sit here and watch and wait for the final results to come in, because it was not happening. The Forward onto Dawn could win that fight on its own, let alone with backup from the Firewall and the Hellfire. So yeah, let's go ahead and get the camera in position. We'll get round 2 underway. But it really looks like the 219th Naval Battalion has Obdurate Air Force's number. The flak shells of the USS Firewall are extremely effective against these mainly wooden construction aircraft. The Obdurate Air Force, like, this is a pretty impressive initial missile strike, but none of them are going to hit. They fire from too far out. It would have been much cooler, in my opinion, if that missile strike were directed at the Rocket Hog, and the Rocket Hog just got nailed by like 60 missiles. But no, instead they just kind of dunk into the water and don't do anything. Now there's flak explosions going off amidst the chaos. There's these two interceptors just randomly. Oh, and he just shaved his buddy's wing off. Excellent. Oh, and another one just took that wing off. Many collisions. Oh, and that's an AI dead interceptor already. It's not even that badly damaged. Where the heck is the AI at that it died that quickly? The cram bombers getting ripped up. One of them is down to 73% already. Another big old missile strike going in for the Forward onto Dawn. But Forward onto Dawn is a battleship and doesn't particularly care about those small missiles. It is getting some bombs dropped on it, some heavy cram bombs. Oh, that one bomb hit directly on this turret. That turret has been disabled. Oh, that's another turret hit right there. Popped that turret clean off. Another one was lost back here. Forward onto Dawn taking some serious damage from that bombing run. That is not exactly what 219th Legion wants to see, or 219th Naval Battalion. Well, I mean, I guess the builder doesn't exactly want to see something like that either, but you know what I mean. What is the? Oh, I thought it would. No, that. Oh, there's aircraft over there. Okay, I was wondering what the Forward onto Dawn was shooting at over there. Shooting at the bombers that just dropped bombs on it and did some pretty critical damage. Like, those things are the only things that that really have a chance of doing any real damage to the Forward onto Dawn. Without those, Obdurate Air Force just can't win, and one of them is right here, AI dead, been destroyed. Yeah, because the small missiles from the interceptors just don't do anything. Oh, another bombing run coming in. Cram bomb dropped. These tend to hit because they're pretty accurate, and, well, I say that, and then that one completely misses. That one did land, did some damage to the deck. That's about it. Forward onto Dawn will easily be able to repair that over the course of the battle. I mean, it's likely to... Oh, yeah, it already has brought this gun back online. How about this one back here? It's in the process. It's getting there. That cramshell actually managed to bounce off the roof of this before it detonated, but it did detonate and damage it. But really, the target prioritization of the Obdurate Airforce, the interceptor should be going for things like the cargo ship here and the destroyer, or more importantly, the light cruiser. They might actually be able to damage those. They're not doing anything to the battleship. But yeah, this light cruiser is an extremely important vehicle for the Obdurate Airforce to kill, and they barely even target it. Instead, they all seem to be focused on going after the forward onto Dawn, and it being a battleship means it just kind of shrugs those small hits off. Oh, well, there is still a cram bomber dropping bombs on the forward onto Dawn. And those bombs are, you know, they're no joke. They don't do a whole lot when they just hit an empty compartment like that, but they're quite good at killing the forward onto Dawn's guns when they land on them. That's just not enough. Oh, and look, that bomber that just bombed the forward onto Dawn has come to regret that attack decision. It's just kind of tumbling out of the air. I mean, let's be real, you wouldn't want to be one of these guys standing on the deck of this ship with all these flak shells hitting it. It'd rip up a person, but the ship itself is just kind of like, eh, I don't mind. This interceptor's doing a death spiral while under fire from flak shells. With the way how flak shells work, they don't really care. They just have to kind of detonate in your general vicinity, and you take damage. And when you aren't a particularly durable aircraft, it means you get blown apart. This one is doing a good job of staying alive so far. Oh, well, never mind. It was apparently too high and got itself disqualified. There's only one cram bomber left, and it looks like it is in the water at the moment. Yeah, it lost one of its engines. Well, engine pods, whatever you want to call it. It's lost half of its thrust, and that has resulted in it being a ship instead of an aircraft. It's just kind of sailing around in a circle. This does definitely look like it's going to go pretty much the same way as the last episode did, though with only that one cram bomber and the fleet carriers left, forward onto Dawn being more or less invulnerable as long as it has materials. Like even if these fleet carriers do manage to kill the forward onto Dawn, like, I'm pretty sure the 219th Naval Battalion would end up winning on HP by that point anyway. Because the rate at which these fleet carriers die will significantly increase as soon as that last cram bomber is gone and the only targets left are the fleet carriers. Even the battleships joining in on the fun of trying to kill that bomber, which is proving difficult to do with it, you know, driving around in a circle just on the surface of the water. Oh, is it actually managing to get back into the air? Temporarily. Ooh, I think that was a hit from the forward onto Dawn. Yeah, the forward onto Dawn just hit the cram bomber. Blasted a huge hole in it, ripped off one of its wings. It should only be a few more seconds before, well, yeah, that. 2 damage, it's now despawning. And now the entire 219th Naval Battalion will turn its focus on these fleet carriers. The forward onto Dawn is just kind of running one over. Though that is actually kind of dangerous, because if the torpedoes from the Hellfire target this carrier and miss, they'll end up hitting the forward onto Dawn, which could be bad. Then again, at this point, it looks like the forward onto Dawn is just kind of sitting on that fleet carrier and drowning it. It's like, my guns don't kill you fast enough, so I'm going to hold you under the water until you explode. And then that turret waving back and forth just looks like the poor thing is just struggling, like, let me help! Oh yeah, remember those torpedoes I was talking about? There they are. Oh. This is why you need staggered fire add-ons for your torpedoes launchers, because the explosive force of other torpedoes detonating will launch your torpedo into the atmosphere. They need to be spread out. But yeah, this battle it's over. There's nothing the Obdurate Air Force can do at this point. They can't even outpace the repair rate of the forward onto Dawn, and that's the only thing they're targeting. And they really shouldn't be. They should be firing on, like, the cargo ship or the destroyer. They aren't going to do great damage to those ships, but they do something. Whereas the Forward Unto Dawn is just like, eh. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and call this battle. It is over. The 219th Naval Battalion has won. Their AA was just too effective against the Obdurate Air Forces, well, Air Force. And the fleet carriers don't pack enough punch to be able to do anything to the enemy battleships. So this battle is over. 219th Naval Battalion has won. And unfortunately, that means the Obdurate Air Force has been eliminated from the tournament, because this is a loser's bracket match. So yeah, thanks for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you on the battlefield.